everyone, welcome to biology class. So today we will look at the mechanisms of breathing. So here are our learning objective for today. Okay, that is to describe the breathing mechanisms in 4 different organisms. Compare and contrast the breathing mechanisms in humans and also animals. Okay, let's start. So, the breathing mechanism of the insect is pretty simple and it involves the movement of abdominal muscles. So, during inhalation, the abdominal muscle will relax and the valves in the spiracles are open. So, this reduces the air pressure in the trachea, and the higher atmospheric pressure will force the air to enter the trachea through the spiracles. So the other way around is happening for exhalation. So during exhalation, the abdominal muscle will contract. Okay, so this will increase the air pressure in the trachea, and therefore it will force the air out of the spiracle. Okay, so that's all for the breathing mechanisms of insect. Now we move on to breathing mechanisms in amphibians. So we focus on the pulmonary respiration in amphibians, that is using lungs. So the structure that are involved during breathing includes the buccopharyngeal cavity and the glottis. So the frog breathes through the nostrils. During inhalation, the mouth and the glottis are closed, as you can see in here. Okay, the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity is lowered. So this creates a low air pressure in the mouth cavity, and air from outside is forced to enter the cavity through the nostril. So when the glottis opens, the nostrils close and the floor of the buccopharyngeal cavity is raised. So this increases the air pressure in here, alright, and thus the air is pushed into the lungs and the lungs expand. So what about the exhalation? It starts when the lungs of the frog contract and the glottis is open. So the air from the lungs is expelled. Exhalation in frog is also helped by the abdominal pressure and the elasticity of the lungs. So some of the air escaped through the nostrils while the rest still remain here, okay, and mix in the buccopharyngeal cavity, mixed with the new air, right? Okay, the breathing mechanisms of fish is aided by the mouth movement and the opening and closing of the operculum. Operculum is a structure that protects the fish gills. So during inhalation, the mouth of the fish opens and the floor of the buccal cavity is lowered. At the same time, the opercular cavity is enlarged and the operculum opening in here is closed. So this creates a low air pressure in the buccal cavity. So water from the outside that contains the dissolved oxygen is drawn into the mouth of the fish. So during exhalation, the mouth of the fish is closed and the floor of the buccal cavity is raised. Water then enters through the gill lamella and gaseous exchange occurs between the blood and water through diffusion. At the same time, the opercular muscle relax and the opercular cavity becomes smaller. Boleh tengok perbezaan dekat sini opercular cavity ni. Okay. So the volume of the buccal cavity is reduced and the pressure in the buccal cavity becomes higher than the pressure outside. So the high pressure will cause the water to flow through the opercular opening here. Okay. Alright. Now we move on to the breathing mechanisms in human, and I am sure that most of us already know how human breathe, exhale and inhale. Okay, so here is a picture of the intercostal muscle just to show you where is the external intercostal muscle and the internal intercostal muscle, because both of these muscles play a vital role during exhalation and inhalation in human. So what happened during inhalation in human? The external intercostal muscles will contract while the internal intercostal muscles relax. So the rib cage move upwards and outwards. The diaphragm muscles contract. The diaphragm moves downwards to become flat and horizontal. Okay, they push against your stomach. So the volume of the thoracic cavity at this point increase and the pressure of the thorax cavity decrease. So the higher atmospheric pressure from the outside will force the air into the lungs. Okay, so the other way around is for exhalation. The external intercostal muscles relax while the internal intercostal muscle contract. The rib cage move downwards and inwards. The diaphragm muscles relax. The diaphragm also curve upwards to form a dome. Okay, dome ni adalah bentuk kubah, macam bentuk kubah masjid tu. Okay, volume of the thoracic cavity decrease and the pressure of the thorax cavity increase. So air is pushed out of the lungs. Okay, finally we have come to the end of the video. So this table taken from your textbook, it summarizes what we had learned. Okay, so have a read at them and digest the information. Right, so the video ends here. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye.